Well, it all started a couple of years ago. I felt that my finances were not in order, and I was getting, when you go to the bank, you didn't understand what, you couldn't project what you were doing in all of this, and then therefore they would take advantage of you financially because you didn't have your books in order, eh? And I took a community college class, and in the first week of this, I found out what to look for when you're buying a computer. And then I went out and I shopped all over Regina. I went every store I could find. I had never typed before. I had no experience, eh? And I ended up in Duncan's Computers there, and John took the time to sit down and explain to me what his machine would do, eh? And he talked my language. Other guys, you'd go to another computer store, they had a jargon that was completely foreign to me. I didn't understand what they were talking about. And I went to John's and I explained to him that I had no experience in this. And he sat down and he took the time to explain to me and it was a great help to me. He could speak my language. Shop around, the price is right on this machinery. Look at the menu. The programs are in there. It includes, well, mine had a whole bunch of software that I use in there. Whereas another computer, it's like buying an empty filing cabinet. Yeah, well, when I was going to school and we were learning DOS in the first few days, that's how to run a computer, I was thinking to myself that how am I ever going to remember all of this information? And after I've been on a tractor for 4 months, I'll have forgot half of it. So when I was shopping around for a computer and I ran across the Duncan's computer, their menu, the way it's set up, it's all explained in there and it's all typed out, and you just point to what you want to do. It's all in the menu, and the machine does it for you. And there's all kinds of really interesting things in that menu. There's a word processor. It's so easy to run this word processor that I don't have to use a book or anything. It corrects all of your spelling mistakes. You can save it for later reference and work on it later. And it's got the spreadsheets. You can do all kinds of accounting on that, all kinds of games. To me, the Duncan's menu was worth more than the hardware itself. There's as much software in that menu as there is hardware. To me, that was the most important feature of buying a computer. As farmers, you haven't got all that much time to spend studying how to run a computer and this and that. And a Duncan computer, it's pretty well fill in the blanks, and it's self-explanatory. It asks you the questions. You don't have to tell it what you need to know.
A few years back, there was a profit to be made in farming, and you could improve your farm with these profits. But as the profit margin is narrowed and become non-existent, it's that much more important to have your finances in better state.
I wouldn't know where to begin how to taking care of the GST if it wasn't for a computer. I can't stress that enough to other farmers that in the future it'll be more and more important to keep track of your books, because otherwise it'll cost you.
Well, you're getting tired of working for nothing, and if it was necessary to make use of every dollar that was made, and having our management or bookkeeping on computer, we're just making it that much easier. We now know where every dollar is going to, where it's coming from, and where it's going to.
If you sit down and take the time to enter how much it'll cost you for your fertilizer and your sprays, and you figure out all of your overhead expenses, and then you project what your money, how much money you're going to be making, like how much, if you grow wheat, how you'll be making X amount of dollars if you grow so many bushels. And what all this is all simplifies that. It's just a matter of filling in blanks with a computer, and it helped me manage my farm that way.
Will it be a profitable loan, or will this machinery or whatever piece of machinery that we purchase or fertilizer or whatever, will they bring back the returns that we want them to? We can project all this with the computer. We probably wouldn't have bothered sitting down with a pencil and doing this previous to purchasing a computer. We would probably just go ahead and buy it, and then we end up with financial difficulties. But with a computer, we can project everything before we ever make the decision as to whether we'll make a purchase or not. All your managing is right there in front of you. You don't have to make an appointment with, or wait to make an appointment with an accountant. you have it right there. It just we make our own decisions, and they're probably better decisions than what you take someone else's advice, you make someone else's mistakes.
Well, in the future, it's going to eventually, if I can help it, get me debt-free of the banks. That's one of the things that I'm working on. Since I acquired a computer, I used to go out and do nothing but work, physical work, and I find that with a computer, I can make more money by just managing my affairs than I can by hard labor. You save money, and money saved is money earned. For example, after New Year, I did my books up for the 1990 season, and I found some mistakes that had been done at the bank, and without my computer, they would have slipped me by, and it was quite a large figure.
$8,500.
And yeah, that's what it was. And you reinstated my account to that amount, plus interest. We used to pay up to $1,200 a year to have an accountant do our books, and we didn't know where we stood until it was time to sign the check whether we were going to pay income tax or not. And now, when it comes to December 31st, I know exactly where I stand, and I give my accountant a transaction report and an income and expense report, and he charges me $100 to do my income tax. It greatly simplified that, saved us $1,000, $1,100 a year in accounting, and that'll pay for your computer in just a matter of 2 years.
The kids very much enjoy the computer. Well, we all play games on the computer and such, but I don't know, the kids love it for games as well as some schoolwork. They do some school assignments on the computer. Of course, with the kids studying computers in school, they're quite handy at it.
I sit down on my computer. I work on my accounting. That's all I'm interested in. I spend a lot of time at it. And, well, last year, in order to practice my typing, I filled out an application for the Outstanding Young Farmer of the Year Award. And this award, they would ask you a question on the form and give you a couple inches of room to write your answer in there. Well, I would put this question on my computer and give 2 pages of information on every question. And it got me a nomination as a finalist for the Outstanding Young Farmer of the Year Award.
When the Duncans decided to build computers right here in Saskatchewan, they knew it would take more than a great product to compete. So they backed their computers with a 3-year warranty, offer a trade-in, trade-up policy, and a full range of hardware and accessories. The Duncans offer a handcrafted quality computer, and to prove it, they put their name on each and every one. The Duncans, computers built to fit the needs of Saskatchewan people.
Now offering a super special price on this complete system, just $5.99.
What does INUVIK have in common with Regina? A Duncan computer. There's a Duncan computer in Laurent and Kamsack, and there's a Duncan in Pierrefonds, Quebec. At Duncan's right here in Regina, we craft computers for Saskatchewan people and for people all across Canada. In fact, there's a Duncan in every major city in Canada. Shouldn't there be a Duncan in your home or business? Duncan Computers, on the corner of 7th and OSLER across from Acme Video.
Price on this complete system, just $5.99.
Hi, I'm Ted Lexia, controller for Queen City Cleaners. I've been working with computers for almost 25 years. This year, I bought a Duncan's computer to help me keep track of the GST. It's going to save me time and, in turn, money, and will help Queen City Cleaners prosper. The computer is great, but the best part is Duncan's after-sale service.
Now offering a super special price on this complete system, just $5.99.
We've made a discovery.
The Duncan's Computer Warehouse is fabulous.
Just fabulous.
There's an open bench work area. Learn to upgrade your computer yourself.
There's education material, hard-to-find Duncan domain software, discs, scanners, joysticks, computer paper, and all the latest. Everything you could ever want.
The Duncans even make their very own computers.
Discover the Duncan's Computer Warehouse for yourself.
On the corner of 7th and OSLER, across from Acme Video.